Here at the Legacy Leagues, we like to pay homage to those who have been around for the longest. So, in respect to Sportsbook, who in the past has provided us with betting lines for some of our Legacy Leagues games, we are, for the first time ever, introducing our Legacy Leagues Week 2 Pregame Pick'em show presented by Zach's Frozen Yogurt. I'm your host, Tyler. I'm joined by Greg and Ryan and Connor and Stuckey. We're going to run through all the games for this week. We're going to set lines for every game. We're going to have the analysts take their picks, give a quick little explanation for why we got them, and then taking questions, as always, for our Facebook Live pregame shows. First of all, we're just going to go in order by the games. So we're starting with our 8 o'clock showdown. We have Central Chocolate, Flint Tropics. We set the line at Central Chocolate at the favorite at -5. Let's just go right down the line, starting with you, Stuck.
I'm going Central Chocolate on this one.
Right with Stuck, I'm also picking Central Chocolate.
Let's get tropical. Flint Tropics and upset.
Okay.
I also have Central Chocolate.
Connor, you took Central Chocolate like the majority. Want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the strongest teams that I saw last week, even though they lost. They played, obviously, the Brotherhood, which is, a dominant team. And they had 3 players last week score 72 points combined. That was Carmine Santarelli, Brian Pratt, and Aaron Samuel. I think those 3 guys have the firepower that it takes to catapult them to the win this week.
Okay. Our other 8 o'clock game, we have the Untouchables versus Fry Time. We set the line at Untouchables at -6. We'll just keep going the same order. Stucky, you want to start?
If there was a way to pick a tie, I would go top, but I think I'm going to go Untouchables over Fry Time.
Yeah, I'm again agreeing with Stuck. I'm picking the Untouchables. Solid team.
Also Untouchables, I would even pick them if the spread was a little more, I think.
I'm going Untouchables as well.
Do you want to expound on that a little bit?
2 words, Chris Rosario. I played with Chris Rosario a season ago, and our one and only win came in his first appearance. He had 24-6, and it's really, from my experience playing with him, his team goes as he goes. If he has a big game, then there's nothing for them to fear.
Okay, now I want to preface this by saying you don't need to be scared of the man who cuts your checks when you make your next picks. Okay, we have STP versus Run TMC. We set the line at Run TMC at -10. What do we think?
I'm going upset. I'm going STP, baby.
I love it. There
STP
you
is
go.
going to go over Run TMC today.
STP is definitely a solid squad, but I'm looking to see Run TMC get back on track, and I picked Run TMC for this one.
Run TMC.
I have Run TMC. I think Will Hudson is a huge game.
Yeah, Will Hudson, obviously a beast on the boards. Stucky, you're my hero. I appreciate you making that bold pick. Perhaps our most lopsided line of the night, we have Sometimes Why and No Limit. We didn't really know where to set this. We were saying maybe -35 for No Limit. I know they said no Jalen Graham tonight, but we get the introduction of Ty Sands, Hurante Bird, as we all know, likes to hype up a lot. We'll see how this No Limit looks at -35. What do we got?
I got No Limit. that's easy. That's No Limit.
Yeah, huge spread, but No Limit's got the firepower that it takes. I'm picking No Limit.
No limit.
No doubt, No Limit.
So even with a 35-point spread, we're still thinking No Limit's going to win by at least 35?
There's no limit to what the spread can be.
Yeah, I mean, even without Jalen Graham today, they still got Howie Miller, who was a proven player in this league, Terrell Vargas, who was another proven player in this league, and they have that defensive presence of Rashawn Hendricks, and he's a beast. He's my early pick. I haven't seen all the guys play defense, but when it comes to playing defense, I think he's my early pick for Defensive Player of the Year so far. So, and sometimes I was less than impressive last week against Team Moves. They put up 106 points, Team Moves did. So I'm going No Limit all the way.
So now I want to put you on the spot. If 35 isn't too much, what would be your tipping point? What would be the number?
I think they could run up the score maybe about 50, 55, 60.
55, okay. Maybe next week if we're going to go to the matchup, we'll keep going. So moving right along, my game. Now here's where you do want to pick very carefully. We have the Throne and Stranger Danger. We set the favorite at Stranger Danger at -5. What do we think?
I'm going Stranger Danger on this one.
I picked the Throne on this one. I think a lot of size helps them out on this one.
I'm also going to go with the Throne.
I'm going with Stucky, and I'm going Stranger Danger.
I think if you're going to pick against me, you have to justify yourself.
Well, Stranger Danger was great on the boards in week 1. I think the Throne might be a little bit different of an animal, and some of my inside sources telling me Stranger Danger is only 6 deep tonight, so their depth might be in danger.
More minutes for me, though, so we'll see how that goes. That's usually not the best strategy for my team, but you never know. Monstars versus Bad Boys. Of course, Monstars are defending champions who were kind of had a little bit of trouble with that Throne team that I get to handle tonight. So let's do that. We have Monsters at -12 over the Bad Boys.
I got Monstars in that game, but I don't think they're gonna cover 12 though.
Yeah, I'm picking the defending champs, the Monstars, to hold it out in this one.
Yeah, Monstars will figure it out. Rough week last week, but they'll get it right.
I got an upset alert. I got the Bad Boys upsetting the Monstars
Now,
tonight.
do you have the upset as in them winning or just not covering the spread?
I have them winning.
You have them winning.
Absolutely.
What's the key to that victory?
I think the key to the victory is Destin Simmons. I know I've played with a few of the Bad Boys before, but I think if Destin Simmons has a game, there's not many people in this league that can stop him when he gets going.
Obviously 40 plus last week. See if we can keep that rolling. Our next game on the board, Goon Squad Sportsbook. Sort of a slow start for a Goon Squad team. Obviously, they had to play No Limit last week, but this is a team that you guys are new, but has been, a pretty strong team, always to the front of the power rankings. We set the line at -11 in favor of Sportslook. What are we thinking in terms of that game?
Because I haven't been here for years in league seasons in the past. I don't know what Goon Squad can do. I can only judge from last week, and they didn't play too well basketball. Let's hope it's just cobwebs, but I'm going Sportslook.
Yeah, I can tell what Stuck's saying. Definitely went up against a tough team last week, but Sportslook, when I saw them, they looked really powerful, so I'm picking Sportslook.
Like Stucky said, I can only go by what I saw in week 1, and week 1 tells me it'll be Sportslook.
I mean, Brian Acevedo's a beast, but I have to go Goon Squad just based on the experience. They're gritty, and I just trust them.
So you went Sportslook. What do you think is going to be one of those big things to make a difference? Right?
Brian Acevedo can take over, but it's not just him. They were really balanced. They had 4 in double figures. And then you talk about Goon Squad, and, like I said, I only could go on what I saw in week 1, and in week 1 they only hit 2 threes. And threes are actually very prevalent in this league, surprising to me, but they're very prevalent. They only hit 2, so it's tough to get out a win when you only make 6 points from beyond the arc.
I agree. This league, despite the low rims, it seems to be that the three-point shooting really reigns supreme. Rolling right along here, kind of an ugly matchup here. Not really our highlight, top matchup. Double Dribblers Flight Club. We let this one be a pick-em. Let's take your pick. What do we got? Pick your poison.
I don't know. I think that Flight Club team got a young kid that can ball, so I think I'm gonna take that Flight Club team.
Yeah, I'm also picking Flight Club in this game.
First rule of Flight Club is you do not start 0-2. Going Flight Club.
All right.
I'm going Double Dribblers. I think that a few of them have played in the league before, obviously. I know Kyle Murphy's played in the league, and I just think it'll be a very close game. It'll probably come down to the last possession.
So Connor, you said that you are leaning towards Flight Club for this game. What do you think is going to be the difference?
Stuck already started to allude to it. They have a player on their team by the name of Brandon Guittard who led his team with 24 points and 6 rebounds last week. So since it's a pick-em, I'm looking to see who's got the best player on the court. And from my eyes, from this perspective, I think it's Brandon. So I'm looking to see him catapult his team to the win tonight.
Okay. Our game of the night, Brotherhood Redemption. Obviously, the Brotherhood continue to not lose, despite all the odds against them. Last week pulled out a crazy win over Central Chocolate. We have them as a 10-point favorite over Redemption. What do we think?
I got the upset. I got Redemption. I think they're gonna see red. And they're gonna capture a victory today. And they're gonna give Brotherhood their first loss.
Same thing. I'm on a little bit of an upset alert there with Redemption. I think that they have enough to get it done tonight.
It was their first game back in a full season, and they still came out with a win against a really good team. I think Brotherhood's going to get on a roll again, and starting with a win tonight.
Yeah, I agree. I think Mike Davis drops 40+, and the Brotherhood take at least a 10-point win.
No, we obviously, Mike Davis, we speak about him all the time in this league and how dominant he is. Besides his effort, which at this point we expect and is consistent, what else does the Brotherhood have to do to beat a good team like Redemption?
Play defense, and it's what they started to do in the second half in week 1 against Central Chocolate. We talked about Carmine Santorelli and his three-point shooting. He finished 0 for 5 when Brotherhood really started to figure out their defense. And you have a Redemption team that only shot 3 of 14 from 3 in week 1. So I think they can hold them to a manageable amount on defense and then have enough scoring led by Mike Davis to pull out the win.
Okay. And in our last game of the night, we have Lob 203 and Team Moose. Team Moose led by the one that got away for Joey Zacco and Kevin Blake and Brian Blake. Kevin Blake? Kevin Blake, sorry. We set the line at Moose at -3. Of course, Moose scored 1 billion points last week, but Lob beat, as we know. What do we have for this game?
I got Team Moose. That's a nice spread too. That's a nice spread.
Yeah, so I saw those guys do a double alley-oop last week, and that was enough for me. They have a lot of athleticism. I'm going Team Moose.
I like Team Moose. Consider me on their bandwagon.
I'm going Lob 203. I think he's an experience. I think experience plays a huge part in this league.
Okay, it seems like Greg really wants to win because he is the only one going against the grain. Like I said earlier, we're going to be recording all the picks, so we will update them week by week, and at the end of the season, we'll see which one of our analysts really does know his stuff the most. As always, if you want to be a part of the show, feel free to comment in. I will try my best to read and host at the same time, get you guys as involved as we can. Before we go, though, I want to throw in one little wacky over-under for the week. Believe it or not, we talked about this a little bit earlier about how important the three-point shooting is in this league, and believe it or not, there were 411 three-pointers taken in week 1. So I set the over-under for week 2 at 450 three-pointers attempted for the league as a whole. I want to hear everyone's picks for the over-under on that.
I'm going 500 threes.
500 threes. All right.
It's just Stuck's going over. I think I'm going over too. I think the shooters will be feeling more comfortable week 2, and more shots will be going up.
Okay.
Maybe not 500, but I am going to go over now that people are getting a feel for the league and how much threes play a role, so they're going to be flying even more.
Okay.
I'm going to go over as well. I think pulling threes is a staple of this league.
All right. Just so now that we understand a little bit of the format of the show, if you, as a viewer at home, have any ideas for any lines or over-unders that you want us to do in the future, feel free to write in. We'll try to get those, throw the analysts under the bus a little bit, see how they answer under pressure. I'm Tyler. Okay, for Greg and Ryan and Connor and Stucky, we will see you guys back here for 6 o'clock for our first slot of games. This was your Legacy League's pregame pick'em show, and we'll see you guys later tonight.